Now then everybody, it's Dan from homestead.com. So I got a question on the Facebook page by Luke Carter. Basically his question is, he's got a home gym and he's wondering if I could demonstrate how I can get big calves like yourself with limited equipment. What exercises should he do? Should he use high or low reps? Well, first of all, I'm just going to try and put it into perspective here. Yes, it's been noted that I have got big calves. They're not actually that big. They measure just shy of 17 inches now, and that's like a cold flex. Fucking phone. And the thing is that I'm 5'8". I've got very short legs. I've got a 28-inch inside leg, so the fact that it's compressed, you know, it makes everything look a lot bigger than it is. Obviously, I know people that are over 6 foot that have got like 16, 17-inch calves, and they don't look anywhere near the size of mine because I'm squashed down. So don't think that just because I have these, it means I know what to do. Thing is that genetics is a massive thing, obviously, for the way that you look. Everybody comments on how they think my arms look big, when before I made that video ages ago where I measured them and they were only like 15.5 inches. It comes down to the length of the limbs, the height, everything is what makes it look how big it is, the insertion of the muscle as well. So you've got to take that into account. For what it's worth, I've not actually trained my calves for months now. I don't really do it. I have got some videos on my channel of me training calves. One way I do it is with a dip belt. You put it round your waist and you lean forward slightly and off a block. You do calf raises. This is basically simulating a donkey calf raise. There's nothing wrong with that. I've had 80 kilos, and if you want to increase the load sort of thing, rather than adding more weight on, just use a single leg, one leg at a time, and you'll find you'll obviously get a better benefit. That's one thing to do with limited equipment. Another thing I did was seated calf raises, because it's good, in my opinion, to work both a straight leg variant and a bent leg variant. If you're using a bent leg, you're going to hit the soleus a lot harder, from what I've found. And if you're doing standing, you're going to get the gastro more, but you will obviously get both on each exercise. What I did with the seated one is you can use a dumbbell if you want, or you can put a bar across your legs, and basically just do calf raises like you would on a seated calf raise machine. I like to stack plates up. Yeah, it looks dangerous as fuck, but to be honest, I've never had a single problem with it. It's never fallen off me or anything, and I found it's an effective way of doing it with little equipment. Another thing to consider about calf training is you often find that people, or one thing I've found anyway, is that people will say things like, "Oh, I can't get my calves to grow. How do I get big calves? How do I do this? How do I do that?" Right? You've got to look at the general population when it comes to training calves. They probably train them once a week and do one exercise. Yeah, maybe three or four sets. Yeah, once a week. Now, in that same week, say it's chest day, they're probably going to do barbell bench press, then they'll do some dumbbell bench press, maybe some incline bench press, maybe some flies, some push downs, some cable flies, dips. So they might do 6 exercises in one day with probably 3 to 4 sets per exercise. So you're stimulating your chest with well over 20 sets of exercises, yeah? And then your calves, you're only hitting them once a week with, say, maybe one exercise for 3 to 4 sets. Now, can you sort of see why people's calves don't get developed? Because they don't actually train them in equal proportions to what everybody else does. You know, there's very little involvement of the calves when you're doing things like deadlifts or squats or anything like that. You're not really driving them, or you're not building much muscle with them. They're not the prime movers in the exercise. You know what I mean? So you do really want to hammer them directly if you're gonna want to develop them. That's just the way it is. But you see, so many people do neglect training the calves. Fortunately for me, like I said, mine look relatively impressive through just genetics. But also, I'm going to say, don't forget that I used to weigh I was well over 17 stone. You know, I was like 230 pounds, 16.5, 17 stone. I was a fat bastard. And I was walking around, and when you are carrying all that weight all the time, you're gonna build big calves. You know, that's when you see all these big fat guys or fat women, they've all got massive legs. All right, they're fat, But I'd say, you know, those calves are under a lot of strain, so they're working hard, you know what I mean? You got to take that into account. Also, when I was in my younger years, I used to walk around on my tiptoes, so there you go, I've got those ballerina feet, you know what I mean? So I reckon that built up my calves as well. But anyway, I hope this has helped, mate. Like I say, just because somebody's got something doesn't mean they're the right person to be asking. But if you're not training your calves more than once a week, or with more than a few sets, that'll more than likely why you're not seeing any progress with them. So just take that into account. So there you go. Please like, share with your friends, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers now.